Hey folks, we're looking at a 2006 model TDI BRM engine, 0506 variant, manual transmission. This car's got about 240,000 on it. Anyways, pulled the intake today, and you can see the buildup on there. It's the intake housing. There's the butterfly valve for the anti-runaway. Pretty clean on that side, pretty bad on that side. There's the other part of the intake. Decent. Still quite a bit of soot in there. This side's really bad. At least a 1/4 inch buildup on half the side there. Turbo looks decent. Like I said, this car's got 240,000, almost 240,000 on it. It's never been opened up. Runs like a champ. So these over here came off a car that had about 200 on it. They dropped the valve in the car. I picked it up for parts, and anyway, long story short, I went ahead and cleaned the intake manifold out as good as I could. Put it in front of a diesel heater, let it run for 5-6 minutes until it was all boiled out, and then best way to go about that after it cools down a while, go ahead and run some purple power through it with a wire brush and make sure and get the remainder out. Fortunately, you can tell the EGR was working on this car, otherwise we wouldn't have all this buildup. Another thing to do, if you go to all this trouble to pull the turbo and the intake manifold, go ahead and make an effort to get some of the soot out of the intake channel of the head while you're already into the engine. That will make a little bit of difference. I would just go ahead and do it anyway, just to be safe. As you can see, this doesn't come off very easy. The turbo has to come off before the intake manifold will. They both line up with each other. Also, I went ahead and hollowed out this new cat here, make it flow a little nicer. We'll do a straight pipe conversion as well, and get rid of that thing you call an EGR, so this doesn't happen anymore. I don't know if you guys know anything about hot rods from the 50s and 60s, but guys used to spend countless hours thinking about how they could make engines more efficient and pump more power out of them. And they started with smoothing out the intake as well as internals inside the intake, and they would use a piece of sandpaper, and they would go inside there and sand for hours and sand down any extremity or any rough spot in the cast. Now, even though this is a low horsepower motor, you don't have to do anything like that, but that's just a general idea back in the day what they used to do. It's all about increasing airflow. And if you take blockages like this, make it nice and smooth, the air will flow better. You'll get a better airflow, and in turn, hopefully, better running engine with maybe some increased MPG. That's about it. Let me know if you have any questions about taking one of these apart. They're not very fun, but it's a great rainy day project.